God, that first line, I just read it. And
I know.
Awesome flopped.
That's how it begins.
And it only gets worse.
The best word in that entire sentence is plopped.
So disgusting.
I don't know. I mean, sofa's pretty good.
The most romantic word, I should say, is plopped. It's fucking disgusting. Ugh.
I'm so happy that we included Buddy in this part of the stream.
He will be the most disgusted out of anyone we know.
It's like,
Yeah.
why would you even put this on the table? Is mostly what's gonna happen here.
All right, the tweet is out.
The tweet is out. We have
All
done
right,
it.
we will
Okay.
now begin a dramatic reading of chapter
Wait,
16.5.
hold on.
Yeah.
Something witty, Master
Wait.
Theater presents.
Buddy has
Yes.
a request. Yes.
Max just messaged me saying, if I remember, there was a famous mistranslation about this involving Kirito coming into Asuna's ear.
Oh, that's the one we have.
I'm not sure if it is.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, jeez.
Something witty, Masterpiece Theater presents chapter 16.5.
Oh my God. All right, let's do this.
Fuck again.
Asuna plopped down naked on the sofa and glared defiantly at me.
I'm glaring. Kirito, hurry up and take your clothes off. God.
She said in an authoritative tone.
Nailed it.
What?
Authoritative.
We're continuing.
2 sentences in and Buddy's like, my God.
Fucking.
What? We're continuing?
It would be stupid if we stopped here.
I hurriedly complied. Opening the window indicated by Asuna, I toggled off the option buried deep within the menu. Because of the hurried start, there was no romantic mood to speak of.
This was strictly about fucking.
Oh.
Sitting on the bed, which was slightly too small for the two of us.
Ugh.
We slowly did as much as the system would allow.
My God.
Wow. Sexier words have never been spoken.
We worked within the parameters provided.
What happens when you start to do something that's not allowed? Is there like a big fucking
No, it'll suddenly pixelate your bodies.
Oh my God.
It'll be like The Sims.
You're like, where is it?
Oh my God.
I know the holes in here are around here somewhere.
I think there was supposed to be some sort of like warning if you touch someone inappropriately, I think.
Oh my, warning. It's like a fucking announcer voice.
The dim moonlight filtered through the window, casting complex shadows on the bed. Since Salemburg has no market, the townspeople disappear at night, so there was no one to watch us fuck.
But
The only thing that I could hear was the faint whisper.
I wasn't looking at the doc. I thought that was an actual line for like the slightest moment.
Well, I feel accomplished.
You've done it.
Hey,
Oh.
hey! The first line was she plopped onto the sofa.
She
Yeah.
plopped down naked onto the sofa.
Naked onto the sofa. You
Fair.
can't judge me.
I'm just gonna throw shit like that in there intermittently. so
Keep
you
you on your
catch
toes.
Alpha Link's like, so glad Buddy's here. I know. Me too.
Oh. The only thing that I could hear was the faint whispering of the lake and my alarm-like heartbeat, which seems to echo around the room.
Okay.
It's
By
terrifying.
this time, Asuna,
Horrifying.
Asuna and I had removed all of our clothing. We had been kneeling on the bed in front of one another for about 2.5 minutes. Asuna looked as though she was about to sneeze.
No, it wanted to come out and then stopped again. This is good. It's the second time it's happened today.
I couldn't read Asuna's expression as she balled up her fists on her knees and looked down. I thought that I should probably be the one to take the first action in this situation.
She's like,
Ah.
She seemed to enjoy that.
She seemed to
But
enjoy
not
it.
being able to predict the outcomes of any of my choices, I sat in petrified silence. Is Kirito a fucking robot?
Are they both just naked on the sofa? Like, so, I mean,
Apparently they're on the bed now. That's
What do
just
you
too
wanna do?
small.
oh yeah, the too small bed.
They've just been kneeling in front of each other, just staring half naked.
Not even
For
half naked.
2.5 minutes.
What are we doing then?
Yeah, they did say all of their clothes.
Yeah, full naked. Oh,
Naked.
That's right, silence. Yeah.
Right, petrified silence. I considered what would happen if I were to yell, "Sorry!" and re-equip minimal clothing at Mach speed before escaping out of the room. Would she say, "I guess it can't be helped," and forgive me when we meet again tomorrow? Of fucking course not.
No.
That's stupid. There's no way she would. Remembering back in the distant past,
I'm
I
glad
was
this is mostly you. I'm very happy.
I was only 14 the first time I ever logged into SAO. The winter of 8th grade.
I remember
Sally
It was a long winter.
Hashtag dinner plate dick.
I know.
when I was a young man of 14.
When I was a
a
young
young
man.
boy.
It's been 84 years.
The winter of 8th grade.
Oh God. Oh.
You can do this!
Oh.
the
We're on
winter-
like page fucking 2 of
Because we
12.
keep stopping.
This is ridiculous.
I know.
Let's keep going. Let's keep going.
Let's keep going. Let's keep going.
The winter of 8th grade.
Oh.
I don't want to really recall how I was at that time, but I sacrificed all the sexual energy that starts to awaken in all boys around that age in order
Oh,
to
boy.
immerse myself into games. I really feel I made the smart choice in that
How did you
endeavor.
do that? I feel like those are two separate things that kind of go hand in hand. Yeah.
Wait, hold on. I just got a magical message from Max.
Oh,
It was a long, cold winter. The socks were stiff as a board, and not because of the cold.
I want to meet you, Max, so bad. You seem like a cool dude.
Wait, fucking.
He's the best.
Is Max free right now? Can we add him to the call?
I don't know.
Ask that boy. One sec. Oh, he messaged me.
We'll add you to the
Should I just keep reading?
Keep
while I do
reading.
that? All right.
Yeah, keep going.
To immerse myself into games. As a result, I had never been in a situation where I would be alone with a girl in her room.
Ooh.
Obviously, I had never been naked with a girl before.
Obvious.
Obviously.
Obviously.
Clearly.
So very obviously.
I mean,
I
look
didn't
at
think
me.
it was that obvious,
I'm a
but
freak.
The winter of 8th grade.
Yeah, the
Here
winter
we
of
go.
8th grade. That's what it was. Oh, Jesus.
The winter of 8th grade. I don't want to really recall how I was at that time, but I sacrificed all the sexual energy
yeah,
that starts to awaken in all boys around that age in order to immerse myself into games. As a result, I had never been in a situation where I would be alone with a girl in a room. Obviously, I had also never been naked with a girl before.
I wish it had said always. Obviously, I've always been naked with girls before. But this was unusual.
Because they
so
weren't
sad
screaming
to
and trying to
see.
pepper spray me.
To tell the truth.
easy.
Yeah?
Can you restart the screen share thing? It's spiraling. For me.
No.
Fuck.
Oh, that was the screen share. Cool. I thought that was my webcam trying to turn on.
For a while, I thought the same thing.
God damn it. Fucking idiots.
I'm sorry, I'm a fucking idiot.
Keep going.
Oh.
To tell the truth, I would have liked for Asuna, who I thought was probably a few years older than me. She had a few gray hairs and,
And, places.
her unmentionables. And thus had expertise in this area.
Izzy's adding those quotes. The quotes aren't on the text.
Yeah, no.
It is in parentheses.
Fair.
Canonical Kirito's like, oh man, she a slut though.
What a dick.
I would have liked for her to take the lead. However, it seemed that everyone in
Oh.
SAO, including her, viewed me as being older than I really was. I just radiate maturity, you see. Since I had never denied any of it, there's no way that I could say to her in this situation, "Sorry, but I'm actually underage and you're going to jail."
How
Predator.
how old is he at this point?
He's
I
like
keep-
16,
That's
and
not
she's
that.
17.
That's not them.
Damn it, I keep looking away from the fucking dock and I keep believing what you say.
You fool!
Fool!
Yes, the part where I said this has been To Catch a Predator. Absolutely in there.
I was like,
So,
what the
would you
fuck?
like to speak about what you've been doing here?
Oh god.
I'm sorry, Asuna. You see, I'm a warrior, and I want that butt.
No one ever.
And I want that butt.
Oh god.
I strengthened my resolve.
Do it.
Even if I didn't have the knowledge or the experience or the skill. I had never loved or had felt such intense feelings for someone like I have for Asuna.
But she's the worst though.
Oh yes, undoubtedly.
I'm
But
also
she's
the
hot.
worst.
She does have boobs
She has them boobs.
She has them breastises.
Mm-hmm.
and a odd willingness to sleep with me.
And she's naked in front of me right now, so you know.
Also, I'm pretty sure she will actually stab me if I say no at this point.
And I'm into girls who do that. Thank you, buddy.
Ever
You're
since SEO started.
No, that was the sound of Kirito fapping.
It's not applause, it's Kirito fapping. Oh my
Kinky bitch.
god. Oh, it's
Ever
so
since SEO started, there were numerous times when I was in a situation where I told myself, you can't run away from here no matter what. But here I had to muster up greater willpower than that as I extended my right hand and moved my body forward.
Is he actually gonna fucking Jeez.
Oh, jeez.
Honk, awesome.
Oh, jeez. Oh, man.
But he says that. Oh, jeez, oh boy, oh,
Oh,
man.
jeez. Like
Mama.
begs to say it.
Just
Fucking liar, liar.
another liar reference.
Yeah.
Alright, body forward. My fingertips softly touched the gentle curve that was Asuna's shoulder.
Ooh. Scandalous.
Her body quivered sharply. I slowly traced a path from the line of her collarbone to the nape of her neck.
And then I slit it.
Is that,
That's you, Carrie.
is that me? Yes.
And then I straight up killed.
Finger
Funny.
looking good.
Funny, I don't get to
Thus
ask
the
this question that
necrophilia
very often.
begins.
What's up, Max?
Buddy, I don't get to ask this question that often, but will you write porn with me?
Of
It would
course
have to
I
be better
will,
than
Max.
this.
To the nape of her neck. And then I slit it.
Hell yeah.
Only the hottest and the heaviest.
Oh,
Oh, buddy, tell me you're gonna take over Germany.
dude. Oh, God.
Asuna let out a soft moan as her eyes closed. The blood rushed to her cheeks and her eyebrows furrowed.
Oh, she's so angry.
Oh, look at her. Look at
jeez.
the fucking eyebrows.
Oh, Dad.
Oh, jeez. For some time, I watched Asuna's responses in secret delight as I touched her all
Fucking
over
secret
the
delight. He's
place.
like, yeah.
Yeah!
I'm so sexy.
Oh my God.
Slightly excited by her fresh reactions, I went a bit overboard as I kept my fingertip at a point where I was just barely touching her and continued to slowly glide smoothly across her skin.
Is he still at her shoulder? No, it's her neck he's at. Okay.
Yeah, he's on her
I'm
neck.
picturing
Alright.
it's like smooth on, but then it just like cuts to the actual foot.
Yo, yeah, this is his like inner monologue, but he's just like, "Do you like it? Is this sex?"
Yeah, she's not moaning. She's
Are
going,
you
ah,
there yet?
ow. Like it's actually kind of like discomfort. Like, ow, ow.
Is this what they call penetration?
Yeah, yeah. I've done it. I'm no longer a virgin.
I crawled down her arms, which were firmly hiding those breastises,
Oh my God.
circled around her stomach, and reversed direction up her arms again.
Perfect. Weather.
Such sensual noises. Every time my finger moved, Asuna's body would shake and a soft moan would leak out. Also, a very
God.
small amount of vomit.
I took it as a positive sign.
After caressing her entire body, I put my right hand's finger under her small chin and lifted her head up. With my left index finger, I diligently traced her wet, shining, cherry-colored lips.
Does he
Jesus.
mean on her face?
These are the
Yes.
questions.
He mentioned her chin.
Chin, yeah.
Yeah.
But that was
He's
with
trying
one
to-
hand, and then the other one is like.
I'm guessing
He's
that's
trying to
weird.
be
Yeah.
detailed, but it's just coming off weird.
Yeah.
You know, if I
That's
can just
weird.
say,
It's
if
about
I
the
can just
beard.
say,
No,
I can
not
just say this.
just your finger.
A softly blushing Asuna opened her eyes slightly, and looked at me pleadingly.
Kiss me.
Ellipses.
He says ellipses at it.
I silently moved my face closer. Asuna's lips parted slightly, as if they could not wait any longer. But instead of fastening our lips together, I softly poked her lower lip with the tip of my tongue.
What the fuck?
So Kirito doesn't know what kissing is.
At all.
I did it! I did the sex!
I penetrated her ear.
Bleh, bleh.
I've done it.
As if seeking me out, Asuna stuck out her tongue. But I restrained myself and moved to avoid her before softly touching her with the tip of my tongue.
Oh, jeez.
Again, he keeps putting her in the position of the slut. He's like, but I, a man of culture, restrained myself.
It's true.
Asuna let out a
She's the horny one.
It's so thirsty.
Fucking Dog is like, this is episode 60 of DBCA, guys, by the way.
Alright, we gotta get through this.
Okay, we're on like
We
page
do.
what?
2.
Still on 2?
Jesus.
Asuna let out an irritated sound of both anticipation and need as I abruptly plunged my tongue into her mouth.
Ah!
Jesus. Like, fucking Kirito's going full, like, alien.
Tongue around.
That's what you want to read in porn. Violence!
The tactile senses in SAO are, just like the sense of taste, pre-programmed and activated in accordance to the situation.
Yo.
This is the sexiest dialogue imaginable.
Dude, Doc is
Yo,
for
fucking
28,000,
Kirito's going full.
I'll star in the porn. Hell yeah!
Oh my god. I just
Right,
want to point out that fucking Kirito's going full like Ridley Scott alien on
man.
on Asuna right now.
Horrifying.
He talks about sex in such clinical terms.
Because it's written by someone who doesn't know what sex is.
Oh my god.
But we do
Oh, I
need to
pulled out of
stop
Asuna's ear.
interrupting quite so much. We're never gonna get
can't.
through it.
It's so ridiculous. And they're about the commentary, so yeah.
True.
Yeah,
we need
anyway.
to find a balance.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
do it.
We'll
Okay.
be here all night.
We can do it.
Fair.
The tactile senses in SAO are, just like the sense of taste, pre-programmed and activated in accordance to the situation.
Great.
When you consider this, then, the only conclusion that one can draw is that the feeling of a deep kiss must have been programmed in. Well, it's not,
Doing that research.
it's not like I've ever really experienced that in real life, but an indescribable, bewitching feeling assaulted my nerves.
My nerve.
Fucking Kirito gets out and tries deep kissing Asuna in real life. He's like, nah, it's not nearly satisfying.
Yeah, I know.
They made it like super good in the game.
Yeah.
They just ruin it for real life.
Oh.
My tongue entwined Asuna's, and I forcefully sucked on it as I felt all the strength go out of her body.
Ah.
Her eyes were moist and dim.
Why are they open while you're kissing her?
That's a
She's
solid,
afraid.
No, Asuna's just like
Solid point.
freaking out and crying.
She's crying.
I
I'm
just
by
want
no
to
means an
imagine it's just
expert, but
as
I
we were
know
doing the
that's
sex,
fucked
I
up.
inflicted
Oh
bleed
my
damage.
God.
Her eyes were
I
moist and
inflict bleed.
and she was breathing erratically as I took my tongue out of her mouth and then proceeded to lick down her neck, behind her ear, and the hollow of her collarbone. The sexiest bone.
The sexiest of all the bones.
When I eventually reached the soft valleys that were the top of her breasts,
The
which
soft
had been
valley.
hidden up until now.
Where was she? Was she like covering? I
Yeah, I
guess.
think
yeah.
so.
Okay. I was gonna say they said that they were naked. Like, come
Yeah.
on.
Her whole body leapt and twitched. Her arms gripped tighter together, and she shook her head from side to side.
She's saying no, dude. Oh, I remember!
Yeah.
You showed this to me forever ago, and I started counting the times that she was saying no. This is no number 1!
Asuna, move your arms.
But...
I want to see your breasts, Asuna. Show me your boobs.
God!
I caught her wrists.
Oh my god, dude!
Which were crossed together and pulled them apart.
Impressive.
As I slowly licked and sucked my way toward the peak of a white breast that was gradually being revealed.
No! No number 2!
Yeah, no. Chat, keep track of the nose.
Asuna's arms were finally on her sides as her twin peaks were revealed to my eyes. The swells, which were usually hidden by the loose-fitting knight's clothing and breastplate, were bigger than I imagined.
Good for her!
Way to go! Way to have a full rack! I totally thought she was flat as a board. But way to go, you have value to me as a person.
Beautiful.
Damn it, Izzy.
Full and protruding sharply forward
Oh my god.
like arrowheads. At their tips were a pair of nipples, which were difficult to distinguish from the surrounding area, standing impertinently in a cone-shaped form.
Those bastards!
How dare they defy me so impertinently? Regrettably, the entire room was currently bathed in the blue glow of the moonlight, and... Asuna, turn on the light.
What? No, don't!
I can't see your boobs in the proper lighting I would desire! Do this for me, woman!
Izzy, I'm doing myself a favor and not looking at the dock at all.
Smart move, smart move.
Just imagine all of this is canon.
Okay,
Yeah.
before we're taking a minor break.
This is what I
Taka
desire.
posted an amazing comment earlier
Yeah.
when you were talking about like the way Kirito describes sex.
Yeah.
Quote, I shall now insert my penis for maximum pleasure.
Who's done it?
Insert, pull out. Insert, pull out.
At least he's giving her warning. Fucking this dude, she's like, no, 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 and he's like, fucking, we're doing it. Let me see your boobs. Turn on the lights. Shut up. Like, fucking. God damn.
God, this is fucked.
Having accepted?
Oh,
So, do
oh
you
yeah,
hear
haven't
it?
accepted you. Oh yeah,
Okay,
fuck.
hang on.
Yeah.
Having accepted the rejection of my request, I sucked her left nipple into my mouth.
Ah!
Ah.
Ah, she said. I took this to be a good sign. Ignoring the shrill voice that Asuna let out at the sudden attack, I chewed on the hard nub with
Oh, what an unsexy way to put it.
much like an eraser. With my
What?
lips
What?
I love that Buddy doesn't know.
But he can't tell. It's the best.
with my lips as my tongue rolled over the stiff tip.
Ah! Ah!
Stop
No, no,
perverting
no!
It's innocent.
I firmly held Asuna's right hand that tried to push me away.
What the fuck?
Pushed you away, that's a no!
As she cried out, while her body convulsed and moved my left hand to the other breast. I squeezed her peak between my fingers, then gently used the nail of my index finger to stimulate the tip of her nipple.
He's scratching her?
Apparently,
But he's
Okay.
doing it in the nipple, which is what ladies like.
Yes. Ah! Ah! Oh!
as I
no,
tortured
yeah.
both her breasts.
As a torture?
Tortured!
That's a
Oh.
sexy word. Asuna's convulsions and sweet cries for help rose in intensity.
I'm getting some,
There!
I mean,
I'm getting
not
some
for
real
help.
rapey vibes from this entire thing.
It gets worse!
Oh god.
Oh no, it gets worse.
Yeah, we're
When
still
do we get
only
to
at
the
7.
tentacles?
Going a bit overboard, I bit down on the protruding object in my mouth
What the
and
fuck?
somewhat violently began to chew on it,
He's done things violently twice in this encounter.
while at the same time, the thumb and index finger of my left hand painfully twisted the other nipple.
What the fuck? Oh,
Wow.
no way!
We're What? 9?
Jane, why are you in the chat? Why are you listening to this trash?
Jane, this is terrible.
Jane, you need to leave.
You're too young to hear this, Jane.
Keep reading.
Granted, I have no idea how old you are, but you'll never be old enough to hear this.
Oh,
I don't think anyone is.
It's true. Just checking.
Asuna's body suddenly stiffened. Her arms, which now encircled the back of my head, tightened their grip.
Oh fuck. No, no, no. I'm,
12.
Yeah, fuck. I'm with just my breast. I'm No, fuck off. Fuck off. Really?
What?
No.
She was unable to speak after that. I'm just such a stud.
I am Kirito, master of sex.
Let's
Sex
Everywhere I
master?
touch, the orgasm.
Sex master. Letting out a hoarse, high-pitched cry from the depths of her throat.
When you said horse, I just imagined her releasing a horse.
That's not how that works.
Fucking- it's not how it works. You're right.
Asuna
Oh.
twitched, and her body jumped once before collapsing against me. She was still breathing heavily. Her body intermittently convulsed slightly.
Ah. Ha. Ha.
Asuna. Fucking seriously? Are you already done?
No.
13.
It's so embarrassing. I never had anything like that happen until now.
Until now,
Just until now.
Asuna ducked her body and looked down in an embarrassed manner. The slut.
Filthy whore.
It's nothing at all.
Tell me.
Tell me.
Tell me!
Ride me!
Where is he?
Who did this to you?
Oh. Move my left hand.
Right. I moved my left hand over Asuna's left breast
Good.
as she leaned against me and grasped her nipple before pulling on it.
Putting a lot of time into these breasts here.
I know. No. Stop. No more with the breasts.
If we count the stop, that's 15.
What do you mean by until now?
Or no, 16.
Asuna spoke haltingly in a crying voice that was once again mixed with sweet moans.
What's that?
That's they usually put words in the what's it, greater than, less than's, if it's like a technical term in the game.
Oh. Goddamn.
Wait, what?
Yeah, that's you.
About the ethic code off. After I learned about it, I did it a couple times alone. Asuna, you whore! No, I'm kidding.
What did you do?
That's really the characterization here.
While thinking about Kirito, played with my breasts and down there, down below and stuff, that thing.
Why would she say it while thinking about Kirito and not while thinking about you, person I am speaking to?
She doesn't think she's having sex with Kirito right now.
So she's masturbated before while thinking of me.
Oh,
I really
oh,
shouldn't
kind.
be surprised.
It's everyone's favorite heartthrob, is he?
Quick reminder, we're at 16 no's and or stop.
Oh my god.
Talking about her own fantasies seemed to have increased Asuna's masochistic side. Her breathing was gradually becoming ragged as she clung to me.
Down below, like around here.
Oh no, wait,
Points to her foot.
I think that was supposed to be Kirito.
Do it.
Down below, like around here.
Hell yeah.
I gently moved my hand that had been abusing her breast downward.
Abusing.
Torture, abuse,
Violence.
16 times she said no.
And or stop.
These are totally normal words to use to describe sexual intercourse.
Between two consenting adults.
Oh my god.
I stroked her tense stomach, and then, ever so slowly, moved in that direction. I went over the slight swell of her abdomen, and
He's
when
called
my...
her fat.
You fat whore.
I paused there for a moment, said, and then continued.
Jane, you ignorant slut.
Oh my god.
And when my fingertips reached the entrance of her 2 mounds, stop describing things as mounds, Kirito! You gross fuck!
I love you like the bounds of bounds.
I'm taking you to Mound Town!
Why is this so perfect?
Asuna gasped as her body shook.
It's
No.
magical.
17.
No, I do not consent. I used the index finger and middle finger of my left hand to stimulate the area around her vagina.
17. Correct.
Her
Taking care
vagina.
not to touch the center. You know,
The
otherwise I'll get zapped and have to start over.
You put her penis into her vagina. How dare?
I have no idea how I came up with this, but immediately when it's like that, I just imagine Kirito just like brushing her hair aside and just going like, "We've updated our terms and service agreements."
My boy, this is fucking a mess.
Are you reading 60.5?
Yeah.
So far, Asuna has said no and or stop 17 times, and Kirito has used the phrases "I abused and tortured her."
We're also sitting at $12,345.
My fucking boys!
I know.
You guys are fucking superheroes.
Oh god.
I'm not even
Anyway,
kidding.
vaginas now.
Vaginas.
While taking care not to touch the center, I enjoyed the sensation of squeezing the 2 mounds together and making them talk.
Drawing faces on them, molding them.
Nom 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 nom.
Well done, my boy. I think that's really awesome.
I took this as a good sign. Asuna knelt down, putting both her arms around me, and moaned while burying her face in my neck as her fingers moved about, causing her body to jump and twitch.
There. No.
18.
No.
But that voice gradually became hoarse as she shook
She's
her
wearing
head.
a mask.
She's shaking her head. She's shaking her head.
I really enjoyed it when she wore the mask.
Fucking horse mask.
Oh.
As she shook her head and wiggled her whole body,
That can't.
thinking that I was teasing her too much, I gradually moved my middle finger toward the center.
Careful, you'll get buzzed.
As
Mm,
Oscar
ah.
let out a remarkably loud cry, my finger was enveloped in a slimy sensation.
Dude,
Jesus.
come on.
That place was seemingly endless.
Can't pick your friend's nose.
As I plunged my head into her gaping vagina.
A chasm that echoed from mine.
One could get lost
Hello.
within its recesses. So hot, moist,
I saw the skeleton of a lost adventurer.
truly,
like a hot
this was
dog down a
cave of
hallway.
wonders. This truly was a cave of wonders. So hot, moist, and indescribably soft that I involuntarily stirred it with 2 fingers.
No.
Asuna
That's
cried
2
out,
more.
and her body started to shake and jump. Without regard for that, I needed the...
She's jumping away from him. Never mind that. You come back here.
completely ignoring her, as all good lovers do. I needed the little knob that was peeking out from the top of the slit with my thumb while spreading it open with 2 fingies.
2 fingies.
It appeared that Asuna could no longer speak as she dug her nails into my back and arched her back as far as it could go.
No. I can't take it anymore.
Wow,
But
that's 1
in
more.
another sense, I was also at my limit. I wanted to see every single part of Asuna so badly that I pushed her down onto the bed and grabbed her legs, spreading them apart.
What?
Asuna came out of a hazy state and bucked her body to escape.
To escape!
Trying to
Oh,
Add that to the
that's-
nose!
yeah.
She's trying to escape!
As she realized that she was in an extremely embarrassing position. But there was no way that I was going to loosen my grip now.
What the
Uh,
What? What?
Jesus.
No, don't look so closely.
Asuna.
it's like gets on a fucking magnifying glass.
I raised my head and looked steadily into Asuna's eyes. I also looked at her face. Should we turn on the light?
No!
I turned
Isn't
on
the light already on?
I turned on the light.
Asuna forcefully rejected my suggestion as she shook her crimson red face.
Oh my god.
Giving up, I devoted myself to examining Asuna's hidden place.
That deep, endless well that is her vagina.
Amongst all of the foliage.
I pushed back the brush and discovered the endless cave.
I admired the reverb as I called out to it.
Oh!
The soft,
You need to
fluffy
stop.
cubes.
Asuna! Get on that! My god!
No, they're soft and fluffy.
Do they have a way to shave your pubes in a fantasy game?
Touche.
Alright, I'm gonna stop you right now. If you're not gonna throw yourself at him, I am.
The soft and fluffy pubes were pure white and smooth without a single hair growing there.
What?
What?
The soft and fluffy pubes were pure white and smooth without a single hair growing.
there.
Either this
What
is a
does he think pubes are?
Either
What the
this is a mistranslation, or Reki Kawahara doesn't know what pubes are.
And then I came in her ear.
I'm waiting for it. I want
just-
that to be this one.
It just hard cuts to that.
He's like, I'm looking at her vagina. I come into her ear.
That's how it ends. This hard cut.
Oh my god.
Oh.
This was.
I was
say,
drinking soda when you said that.
Which part?
The fucking, and then he came in her ear or some shit.
Beautiful.
Ugh.
I missed you.
Oh, I missed the voice.
This was to say, rather than a preference of the developers, a limitation of the system itself. Hair-type objects are of the extremely heavy category. As a result, aside from hair on the head and beards, there was absolutely no hair anywhere on the bodies of SAO players.
So she doesn't have soft and
good.
fluffy pubes, is what
No.
you're saying. Okay.
In between her two smooth mounds was a single slit, and further into that were lightly colored folds.
Oh my god.
I'm
From
so
time to
confused. What
time.
about the pubes?
Yeah, what about the pubes?
From time to time, a clear fluid dripped out and flowed toward Asuna's anus.
It was
before
water.
turning into beads of light and disappearing.
What whimsical descriptions of fucking
Okay.
cum!
Buddy, stop spilling your
say,
soda.
I just gotta say
No.
this. So, hair is too resource heavy to render.
The detail on
Fucking
that.
vaginal fluid dynamics that we have to dedicate like so much resource.
We gotta get it right. It's gotta be on
It
point,
has to be
boys.
perfect.
Kayaba Akihiko had priorities, okay?
I just want to imagine whoever had to actually program the game. It's just like that Shirobako show where it's like, man, I always wanted to work for an animation studio, but all they have me doing is cars. Yeah, I hear you. I work for this one company. All I have to do is vaginal fluid.
Yeah,
Right.
It's like some games in their fucking boob physics. They put too much time into it.
Which department are you from?
Mr.
I'm from the
Akihiko's-
boob physics department. I'm from the vaginal fluid department.
Yeah, Mr. Akihiko was doing some bug fixing and came across this file called Vaginal fluid dynamics?
Dude.
Yeah, it's not a bug.
JL, it's like I went to bed, woke up, and the first thing I hear in the morning is vag fluid dynamics.
Can we put that on a shirt?
Oh, put it on a shirt.
Vag fluid
Put it
dynamics.
on a shirt!
Oh,
Keep going, keep going, keep going. This is great.
oh,
Anyway,
Jesus.
so anus, speeds of light disappeared.
Perfect.
Whether it was from embarrassment or loss of strength, Asuna had stopped struggling.
Ah,
A little bit,
That's it.
a little bit.
That's it.
Yeah,
I
but 2
think
no's
it's
equals a
gonna- I
yes.
think it's gonna hang out around 35.
Yeah, I don't
That's
think it's gonna
where
get
I
that
think
high.
it's gonna hang
She has
out.
lost the will to fight back.
She's not struggling anymore.
but let's see what happens.
Asuna's eyes turned vacant as she left her
Vacant.
body, trying to escape the horrors of the world around her.
Are you okay, Gary?
Uh,
Gary, are you fine?
Oh, I had water and wasn't expecting it.
Okay.
Carrie does. Yes, he is.
Vacant and dead, just the way I like them. Jesus.
She moaned softly inside the slit. Compared to the information that I had received from the nets in the real world, was an unusually simple design with what I thought was peach-colored membranes. That's what you want in your sexy dialogue.
Membranes.
To clarify, the vacant eyes does not count as a no. That's her giving up, not her trying to take back her control.
Oh my
That
God.
doesn't count as a no, unfortunately. It's just sad.
Oh my god.
Peach-colored membrane spreading smoothly on the inside and bottom. The vaginal opening, which tirelessly produced clear fluid, was quietly throbbing.
Loudly throbbing.
Sound like a goddamn taiko drummer down there. I took that as a good sign.
mhm.
And in the upper part where the slit closed together, a little protrusion peeked its head out.
Oh my god. I've been in there for years. Help me.
I'm trapped! Help!
Carrie, you must save this man. Here, a map.
This dark cavern is
I must
endless.
save my family!
Here, a map. God damn it, man.
In SAO, the male player must have at least once or twice racked their brain in wondering what that part of the female player looked like. But I was experiencing a certain kind of emotion having just discovered the answer to this question. Of course, in my own lower half, there was also a certain thing which, having swelled to its limits, was seeking release.
Hashtag dinner plate dick.
Is it his penis?
I think it might
It's
be.
his dinner plate-sized penis.
Only time will tell.
I'm so excited.
But this was the first time since I had entered SAO that it had become like this.
It's also your first
What was
time
it like
entering Austin.
before?
Yo, yeah. It's like transformed.
So wait,
Sound.
he's gone like 2 years without ever getting a boner? I find that hard to believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is a somewhat interesting story concerning all of this.
A bit of a,
I
bit of a
apologize
backup
for
there.
digressing from the sex, but I promise this will be worth it.
Oh,
Well, listen, it's the internet. It's hard to tell who's actually 12.
it's true.
When SAO was under development, the Argus company had an internal
This is
closed
what I want.
Alpha test.
Backstory to penis.
phase during which time they reasoned that some players would have no use for genitals. It would not be necessary to objectify it.
Oh.
However, in reality, they found that most of the male testers would experience a certain amount of severe anxiety.
Oh my
Even
God.
so,
Oh, is that?
That's the reason.
while there was no problem when playing for several hours, when they conducted consecutive tests over a 48-hour period, they found that most of the male testers who attended this trial period were unable to stand not having their genitals and gave up. So it was
Jesus.
from the beta testing phase that the genital parts were implemented out of a sense of necessity. It seems that this was also part of the reason why SAO players were not allowed to change their character's gender. That must have
And
been
you
an
get a
interesting
penis. And
meeting.
you get a
Gotta have
penis.
that dick.
So, I'm sorry to say, one of you guys is on dick modeling duty. So, rock, paper, scissors, how do we want to play this?
Wait, they said you couldn't change the gender?
Yeah.
Okay.
Afterwards. Once you pick it, you can't change after.
Okay, I was gonna say if someone's who's like, someone who's trans is like, oh, this will be great, I'll see if I feel comfortable in this body, and then, oh, I guess I'm just stuck with the penis.
Well.
I mean, that's the plot of Gun Gale, isn't it?
Jesus. Oh, alright.
In a very loose parody sense, I suppose.
Damn.
However, even if you had your genital parts, the question that I had prior to the official start of the game, meaning before the incident, was whether or not there would be anxiety over the lack of proper function. I myself had agonized repeatedly on multiple occasions over the inability to release my pent-up jizz.
Oh my god.
But now I saw
But does it say jizz?
No,
What?
it says
I love that I can still get you in this.
I'm not looking at it. I'm making fun here.
Is he? He's so innocent. Don't tease the buddy.
But now I saw that if the ethics code or whatever was disabled, then functionality, probably even ejaculation, was possible.
Oh,
I gotta give it to him. This writing is just so realistic because when I'm boning, my harem of women, I'm just thinking about Nietzsche. Is God really dead? Did we kill him?
Okay, so that's the justification.
Where did I put my IKEA manual?
So as long as the ethics code is turned on, you can't get a boner.
Can you turn off the ethics code?
I mean, that's what they did.
Oh my god.
This is my ethically questionable boner,
Asuna was
said the rapist.
Asuna was saying she was turning off the ethics code once in a while to jack off.
Oh, fair.
While thinking about Kirito.
Always
course she
Kirito.
was.
Yeah, no, never think about anybody else. No.
While feeling
no.
like I had missed out on a lot by not knowing all this until now, at this point, though, I faced a new question. How much jizz was really in there? Mm-hmm. Having the ethics
How
code...
much could fit into my cum tube?
The Kirito has a large cum.
A large retractable cum tube.
Everybody, shut up. I have an erection.
No, yeah.
Having the ethics code release function basically meant that online virtual sex had been planned with the release of the game. SAO had many underage players, such as myself, so no matter how I thought about it, this function was sure to cause a lot of social outcry.
Oh my god.
Oh, really?
I mean, some people were going to jail.
Just fuck already!
But no, this is foreplay, Karen.
Oh, of course.
While teasing Asuna.
Dude, his hands like in her pants, and he's like, "You see, Asuna, you're lucky we get to do this."
And she's like,
Go on.
You're welcome.
Meanwhile, Asura's like, okay, I know I said no a couple times, but I thought that was kind of your kink. I want you to kind of get on with it.
Could you, like, I mean...
Yeah, in the early days of the beta test, I actually wouldn't have had any genitals to to do you with.
Yeah, no, that's great. That's great, Kirito. Could you at least maybe like twitch the middle finger a bit?
Fucking Zegyard all caps Kaiba was a literal madman.
Carrie, didn't you have a line in a series where it was like, why won't you move?
Oh fuck.
What series was that? Was it High School of the Dead?
That?
Wait, what series?
That was High School of the Dead.
That's awesome.
Wait, what was the series?
Fucking.
Or what was the joke?
It was. We made it that Takashi and Ray were having sex, and Stewie voicing Ray and me voicing Takashi, and Stewie was having a fucking great time, and I was Takashi, and I was like, "Why won't you move? God, come on! I'm not enjoying myself."
We're trying to win.
It was ridiculous.
It's a team effort. Come on.
No one faps alone.
It was so stupid.
Keep going, you can make it. We're almost there.
While teasing Asuna's cute slit with my fingertips, I raised my hand and posed that very question to her.
What?
Though she had a spaced out look on her silky eyes, and her answer was punctuated by her heavy breathing, Asuna's serious disposition kicked in as she answered it.
They plan to use SAO's system in order to provide a personal sex service? We're probably linked with that function.
I I see. In other
Ah.
words, it's probably one of those delicate arrangements. Well, enough with the chit chat. I
It's about goddamn time.
Wait. Read it.
I used my left hand to open Asuna up as wide as possible.
Shh.
Hello in there.
Open wide.
And then what'd you do, Hannibal Lecter?
Ah!
Asuna screamed as I literally tore her apart.
Ripped her in half like fucking lumber.
And this is Saturday Night Live!
Stem to stern.
Welcome, everyone. We are now streaming God of War.
She wasn't immobilized anymore, but
Anymore.
Asuna let her.
Immobilized!
Not anymore. Not
He
anymore.
immobilized her!
But Asuna let out a sweet cry with both her legs spread wide in the air.
You see, I broke her legs, so she couldn't
Broke her
escape.
fucking leg.
It's virtual reality misery.
I brought my face close and gently pushed my tongue toward the little hole in the center.
Ah!
Ha!
Does
Asuna shook her head from side to side as she cried out.
that count as a no?
Yeah, shaking your head.
That's
No,
a- it's a
no, she doesn't want this.
It's a
I
no.
softly stimulated the
No, no,
entrance
no,
to
no.
that hole with my tongue
Oh my
as I
God.
pushed my finger in and out.
Ah! No! Not that!
Two right there.
There we go.
Every time Asuna convulsed, a large amount of fluid would make a sticky sound on my tongue as it leaked out of her vagina.
Vagina.
It's like a fucking hose at this point. Like, Jesus.
I just want to make it a game of how many unique ways we can come up with saying vagina, because I remember you guys were mentioning Venture Brothers earlier, and it's just like, yes, my nunchaku, I think that's how you pronounce it, I'm not sure.
Yeah, dude. Oh,
Jesus.
fuck.
Having pushed
Nunchaku.
my tongue into her hole and enjoyed the feeling of her constricting around me, I pushed myself up over Asuna. I was already swollen to my limit and felt like I would end up coming if I continued to explore Asuna's body anymore.
One thing, I will give Kirito points. He's better than DJ Khaled.
Oh.
No, she gotta go down on me, but I ain't
No.
going down on her.
I'm the king. I mean, she's the queen, but I'm the king.
You may not understand that no means no, but at least he'll go down on a bitch.
Even when she says no.
Whether she likes it or not.
Oh, go on.
Reminds me of the old Andrew
Something
Dice
fun.
Clay bit that starts with, so I got my tongue in this girl's ass.
Hell yeah.
While
Oh,
softly playing with her pert nipple, I covered Asuna's
time
lips.
for bed.
Nah, fuck off.
It
Phone.
says time for bed, Izzy. Go
Yeah.
to bed.
I know. That's not
Here we go.
happening.
Okay.
Not tonight.
While softly playing with her pert nipple,
Pert.
I covered Asuna's lips with my own and softly whispered, "No one will ever believe you."
Jesus.
Fucking hell, Izzy.
It's like the fucking sloth with the cat. Fucking. Oh, Jesus.
Keep going. Read the real
Do
line.
it, do it, do it.
Asuna, can I
Uh,
plow you?
ha!
Asuna nodded vigorously.
Oh, okay, she's nodding.
We have one yes!
One yes! From how many no's?
30. We were
A
at
couple.
30 last I saw.
Dude,
Make up your mind, girl.
isn't it a joke in Family Guy? Is it 20 or 30?
I can't remember.
It's like fucking 20 no's and a yes.
You're at 30.
Yes. It
Oh
doesn't.
my god.
Jesus.
Asuna nodded vigorously as she let out a hot breath.
Oh my god. Yes. Make me full with your thing, Kirito.
2 yeses!
Give me that
Ah.
thing!
Oh, Asuna, you really know how to make a dude hard.
Bam!
While feeling slightly dizzy at the thought of having that straight-laced invincible warrior tell me that with such a tearful face.
She's crying!
Oh.
Take away a yes! Take away a yes!
I mean, that could go either way.
After 30 no's?
30 fucking no's!
I mean, make me full with your thing?
Yeah. I mean,
Jesus.
go on.
Look, everyone
I
cries
pressed
during
myself
sex. Sometimes you do it through your
against
penis, and sometimes, you know.
moistness. My penis caught on the entrance of her vagine as I moved up and down. What are you doing? That's not right.
You're doing it wrong. Stop.
Asna firmly gripped my shoulders with her arms as she squeezed her eyes closed and furrowed her eyebrows. Even in the pale blue darkness of the room, I could see that her whole body was flushed and beads of sweat shined everywhere. When I placed my hands on Asna's sides,
Stop, God.
her hips moved slightly forward.
No.
I felt a slight resistance,
Oh my God.
but with a popping sensation, half my penis was swallowed up inside of Asana.
That you're me. I feel like, I was gonna say, I feel like she's just bit his dick off with her vagina.
Turns out women have teeth down there.
It's true.
Have you ever seen the movie Teeth?
Yo, yeah.
That movie's terrifying.
Turns out that's a documentary.
Yeah.
A warning to all
Oh
men.
no. Even with
Yes.
just that, Asna let out a scream as she arched her body to its limit.
Ah, no.
At the same time, my breath caught and I felt a numbness spreading from my penis to the rest of my body.
What?
Oh, did you know?
Having pushed my entire length into Asana, I let my desires take over as I continued to penetrate her bit by bit.
Oh, look at all the bits.
Look at all them bits.
Oh, thank you for the bits, Kirita.
Ha.
Asna continued to scream for help as she continued to vigorously shake her head while her body
Is that
shook.
a no? She's shaking her head. Is that a no?
Give me the full context again. What?
Yeah.
Vigorously shaking
Shaking her head.
While her body shook.
Yeah. She continued to vigorously shake her head.
We've been counting it as a no all this time.
Yeah.
I mean, the last time she shook her head, it was like,
Up and down. It was up and down. That's fair.
It's hard to tell.
It's hard to tell.
Okay, yeah, this one's ambiguous.
Yeah,
Don't count that
we
one.
won't count it as either.
Although I briefly wondered if it hurt, I decided
Briefly, I thought about it momentarily.
I didn't much
and then
care
And then
got
I
for
realized I
myself.
don't give a
I
shit.
decided I don't give a shit. I was no.
Kirito is rape.
Someone was always
Oh
saying
my
Kirito
God.
is always.
Oh god.
I was no longer able to stop my hips from moving as my penis continued to plunge into Asna's clunge.
Oh, easy!
To her plunge.
It's not
What?
in there. He added it to piss me
Okay.
off.
Sorry, into Asna's deepest parts with a wet slapping sound.
Oh!
Are you satisfied? Are you
Is that
happy, Kiri?
better?
This is what you wanted, not clunge.
Wet slapping sound. Oh!
Pressed myself deep into the crevices of Asna's moistness.
Oh! God.
Moistness.
Ha-
Wonderful.
Ah!
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that wasn't so bad.
Oh,
No, it's
Now it gets. Oh no, no, you ruined it. Like,
Eventually, my penis pushed all the way into the root of Asna's vagina.
that's not
root?
good. That's not a good time.
Into
No,
her root.
Nope.
No.
No.
Well, that's unfortunate
Yep.
because that's happening.
Nope.
While she was the woman whom I knew the best and loved the most,
I feel it. I feel the romance.
the crazy
Yep.
thought that I was deep inside Einkrad's top idol at this moment
Ah.
was spinning around my mind, making me go crazy.
I'm fucking a super popular lady. That's extra hot.
That
doing
makes
it,
it
fuck
so much
you.
better. I'm banging a celebrity.
Oh.
It's such a great moment of pride.
I'm
Ugh.
just doing this for the story.
Oh, tell me about your bridge series.
And what a story it is.
Oh my god.
I
What a wonderful
somehow
time.
managed to calm my breathing as I put my mouth close to Asna's ear and said, "It's all inside. Does it hurt?"
Oh. No. Did I get him?
No, she's saying no to a
Positive
question.
no. Fine. Son of a bitch.
Fine.
So hot, I'm going to melt. For I am butter, you see. I've been butter this entire time.
You're at the root
What
of the
is
vagina. It's such a
Ah,
good time.
jeez.
What a twist.
Asna answered in a thin, high voice as she shook her head. Kirit, oh no, sorry.
You're gonna.
Kirito, so much of you inside of me!
Oh wow, he had a
Oh.
weird place deep in
really
there.
bad
Oh,
about
yeah.
this.
It's a high voice.
We've gone to
Is
a
what
weird
girls sound
place.
like when they come? Do they sound like 5-year-olds? Suddenly I'm not okay with this. I also
But you were
felt
okay
like,
with the rape bits.
We've done it.
Okay.
I also felt like melting from the incredible heat that I was experiencing.
It's too hot. Turn the heat down in your vagina, Asuna.
Put
Put on
on
the AC.
Pay for some AC, you cheap bitch. My penis, which was tightly gripped by Asuna, was continually sending heat waves up my back that exploded into fireworks in my head.
I really should have gone to the hospital.
Is sex supposed to feel like fireworks? Or is that just like a stroke of some kind?
He's having a stroke. Ah! 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 Ah!
Yeah.
Exactly.
Breaks
Someone
out.
make that a remix.
I was aware of Asuna's moans becoming higher and higher as I was immobilized, struggling against the sensations
So he's
that
not
threatened to
moving?
overwhelm me.
He's just like put his dick in her and is just hanging
Oh,
All right,
out.
you do the work
suction is
now.
too much. It's like a vacuum down there, girl.
And meanwhile, I was like, "Come on, please work with me here."
Like, Jesus.
As if in anticipation, her slit also continued to tightly massage me with its
really-
convulsions.
I need him to stop calling it a slit. It's really
It's not an attractive
upsetting.
word.
Oh.
Nay, nay.
No way. I'm again? Is she coming again?
Yeah, I think.
Fuck off.
Asuna's voice, which sounded as if she was becoming delirious from how hot I was fucking her, was changing into a melting sweet sound.
No.
A melting
No,
sweet.
again, I'm coming.
So that's your third orgasm.
Yeah.
He's so good at
It
the
takes
sex.
nothing to make her come.
Apparently.
She's a slut. We've established this.
Hi
He is
there,
a
I'm
restrained
Kirito, and
man
I'm the
of
real
culture,
Black
and she is the whore that he is allowed into her bed.
I mean, she did kind of force him into it at the beginning of it. The second line is, fucking come on, take off your clothes.
How dare you seduce me?
26 no's happened.
We're in the 30s now.
Oh god. Oh Jesus.
Yeah, it's
We're at
36,
34
right?
no's.
Oh my god. I'm so close. I guess to run 35. I hope she has one more no.
Jesus Christ. She threw her head back with a jerk, and I heard a snap as she slumped over to the floor.
Ah!
Yeah, she was definitely dead.
I
Oh,
definitely
I will be-
can't
I'll be
lift
right
my
back.
penis.
Alright.
Alright.
But you'll miss the climax.
The
After
actual
the
climax. Screaming loudly, Asuna climaxed for the second time.
Okay, second.
Second. Yeah.
At the same time, my penis was squeezed with an incredible pressure, threatening to crush it. And to my horror, I felt a raging sense boil up inside me, seeking release.
To my horror? Oh my god, I'm enjoying sex. How horrifying.
Oh,
She has
God.
me in a vice grip.
Exclamation marks apparently on your behalf.
Jesus Christ.
Oh fuck.
Because truly, it's Kirito getting the worst of all of this.
It's true.
Oh yeah.
I bit my lip and fought against that feeling, supported by the thought that I couldn't relax when we hadn't even reciprocated once. I was somehow able to quell the urge. Panting heavily, I embraced Asuna's body, which was limp from orgasm. I knew I didn't have much time left, so I violently pulled all the way back to the opening of her vagina before pushing in all the way in one thrust. Smack! Our bodily fluids flew about.
Ew, fucking.
We painted the walls with our love. I didn't really care. This was Asuna's place. She could deal with the mess. I'm outie.
Roxanne. Oh my god. Fucking wait. Is that? I'm assuming that's.
Yeah.
Ah!
Asuna's eyes flew open as she let out a shriek.
No!
35!
Fucking 5! Boy! Oh! If you do that, I'm gonna go crazy. She started stabbing him.
Orgasmic ellipses. I was once again forced to stop while deep inside of Asna.
Yeah,
The
true.
hot, soft sensation surrounded me as the throbbing of the folds. Is that the new book by fucking George R. Martin? Throbbing of the folds?
No, 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 no.
Wiener.
Oh, wiener, wiener.
Penetrated my entire being.
Oh.
Asna had come several times already, and if we stayed like this, I would eventually end up coming.
Oh no.
But I didn't feel like that would be a very good way to finish. So after thinking for a moment, I gently began shifting my body.
Yeah, no man ever wants to finish.
I was gonna say, what the fuck? How
What
else
is
do
he
you
doing?
end? Wait,
Lifting up a drowsy-looking Asna's
Oh
body.
my
She's
God.
cock drunk.
Oh.
My
She's
God.
drunk on that penis. Girl, you had too much. You can't drive like this.
You gotta stop. You got a problem, girl.
Oh my
You're
God.
addicted to Kirito's cock.
I moved underneath. Eventually, the two of us switched positions, with me on my back and Asna in a mounted position on top of me. As soon as Asna realized what sort of position she was in, her face turned even redder as she shook her head from side to side.
No. This is embarrassing.
36.
30 fucking 6.
Asna, you try moving.
What?
Or else.
Yeah, or else. What? Okay.
Asna blushed shyly as she nodded and began to gently rock her body. Rock her
your
body
body.
now.
Rock the
Yeah.
Casbah.
Rock the Casbah. I'm sorry that I'm the only one feeling good, Kirito. You can come too. I give you permission.
Nah, I'm good. I'm a nice guy like that. A sticky sound was coming from the slit
Stop! Oh my God!
that was being pierced by my penis.
Jesus.
My
It's
penis.
okay, I don't...
Penis.
Asna's movements were minimal, but the powerfully numbing feeling was spreading through my body again. Right when I thought, at this rate, I'm gonna jizz right away.
Huh?
Her body was once again mixed with the sound of arousal. Her voice was once again mixed with the sound of
Fair
arousal.
enough assumption.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Asna bit down on the fingers of her right hand.
That's what you
It's
said.
important to note that it was her right hand and not her left hand. That would have been far less hot.
It's true. She would have messed with the entire rhythm of everything.
As she moved her hips up and down.
Why am I, like this? Like this? Okay.
Asna's long chestnut-colored hair flew into the air every time she shook her head. Beads of sweat also flew about, turning into light before disappearing.
I'm sorry, Kirito. Fuck off! Is she going again?
Yeah.
Fuck off!
Keep reading.
You ever heard that the female orgasm is elusive? Also,
As a
fucking
man,
knows
I
where
would-
it is, apparently.
Yeah,
And
no.
she's not
no,
sharing
no,
it.
She doesn't. Kirito is,
It
because
must-
he is a man's man, a
Motherfucking-
conqueror of the
Be
feet.
grateful for a second. I need to finish coming. Like, you can
Wait,
express
wait,
your appreciation once I'm
wait.
done.
Wait. Okay, we're good.
Okay,
Wait.
there
There
we
we
go.
go.
There we go.
Asna
And
threw
we're
her
done.
body back while drawing up, blasting up to the ceiling. While drawing out the last part of her sentence as she violently convulsed 3 times.
Wait. Is he implying that he made her come 3 times and then gave her multiple orgasms on the 3rd time?
I mean, she's at least convulsing 3 times.
Okay.
I'm gonna say, because it's Reki Kawahara, he did in fact make Asuna come a minimum 5 times.
Fucking fuck off.
Her breasts, which were sticking out in front of her, danced in time
As
with
opposed
those
to when they're
motions.
around the back.
This greatly surprised me. I may not have a firm grasp of female anatomy. But you know, we're all here to learn.
It's a learning experience. Go
I'm
on.
as shocked as anyone that she's enjoying it this much.
Oh my god.
I don't get to say this enough, but Izzy, will you write poem with me?
Yes.
Oh, Jesus.
Unequivocally, yes.
Yeah, it's a solid yes. Do it. Oh,
Where did I leave off?
I don't know. Something about coming.
Right,
Something
dance with
about
those
coming.
motions.
You got me.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was in no position to pause and admire the sight of Asna with her eyes scrunched closed and her teeth gritted together, looking incredibly cute,
Good for her.
yet horribly lewd at the same time.
Horribly
Ah.
lewd.
The slut! Look at her boobs
Fucking
just
whore.
jiggling out in the open for all to see.
My boys.
As Asna's vagine gripped my pee in tightly.
Go on.
My
I was
poor
once again-
peen.
I was once again assaulted with the powerful urge to conclude.
Do it. Conclude.
Thinking that
Oh, I'm
I
gonna
won't be able
conclude.
to
I'm gonna
resist.
conclude.
I'm gonna conclude.
I want to conclude.
In conclusion, Your Honor.
In conclusion, right? Oh.
I wouldn't be able to resist it this time. I instinctively pushed up into Asna's core with my abdomen.
As
I'm
you
pretty
do.
sure I broke something.
Oh.
Grabbing her hips with my hands, I shoved my hard meat saber in as far as I could pull.
You did
Wait.
not say meat saber.
There's no way you added that. I lost my place.
What?
There's no
I
way.
sho-
Yeah,
hard penis. Okay.
Meat
Did you say
saber.
there's no way I added it? Of course I
I
added.
said there's no way it was in there. I was like, of course you added it.
I shoved my hard
Yeah.
meat saber in as far as I could before pulling out again.
Oh my
I don't
God.
know if that's me or you.
Let's both say.
Okay.
Ah!
Ah!
Ah! Ah! Ah!
We did it.
Ah!
Conclusion.
Conclusion.
Fucking memory zero. Ah!
Ah! I'm gonna conclude.
Dude.
After being suddenly assaulted right after coming, all Asna could do was frantically writhe about like a floppy fish on a boardwalk.
Like a floppy fish.
It's not in there. He's adding it.
Okay.
It's so hard to tell sometimes with these innuendos.
I know.
Like, Reki Kawahara might be the least sexy man alive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, Rooster Teeth is Googling Gavin. We have Ricky or Izzy.
Oh my god. Oh, I love it.
I took her hand, which was extended toward me, and linked our fingers together. Every time I stirred up Asna's insides, our overflowing juices would fly about as the place of our joining melted in endless heat.
Ah! Ah,
What?
amazing. Amazing.
I know.
Like-
You're welcome. Her bouncing breastises also set large amounts of sweat flying about. Asna was letting out delirious sweet moans with a complete melted look on her face, not unlike a candle that had spent too long in the sun.
Jesus. Ah!
I'm gonna shoot!
His boot!
I'm gonna spew!
I'm gonna
Ah! Yes! Let it out! Ah, Kirito, let it out. A lot.
Let out so much jizz.
Let out all that jizz.
As I shoved myself into asana,
Bam.
I released all of the pent-up sensations that I had stretched to the limits. Asana!
Ah!
Asuna. Asuna.
Dude.
I could feel my hot sperm gushing deep into asana as she trembled in yet another climax.
Fuck off! It's impossible!
Wait for it. 2 years worth of semen made a glopping noise as it flowed endlessly into asana.
We did it!
Which, you know what, is perfectly reasonable because she apparently has an endless vagina.
Apparently, it's just gaping and fucking full of spunk. Oh,
If I
God.
didn't know any
spunk.
better, I'd think her head started to fill up like a water balloon fit to burst. I felt a powerful urge to poke her to see what would happen.
Fucking crocodile's like, and boom goes the dynamite.
And boom
Finish
goes the
the story.
dynamite.
Finish it!
Finish it!
Every time my schlong twitched, Fireworks would go off
Okay,
in my
so-
head.
I thought it actually said Schlog again. I need to not lose my place.
You guys are too easy.
I know.
No, this story's too shitty.
Oh, fair.
After receiving all that I had to give her, Asana's strength gave out as she fell on top of me.
Hey.
I
Hey.
gently embraced Asuna while she continued to gasp and convulse in the throes of yet another climax.
Somehow, I wasn't even inside her at this point.
As if she was being stimulated by the fluids inside her own body as my consciousness dimmed.
Is he giving her an orgasm while unconscious?
He's just that good.
And wait,
Fuck
He's the black
off!
soul.
and that's how it ends?
That's how it ends.
He climaxes once after she climaxes like 17 times, and then he just goes to sleep.
I
Yep.
I don't know what
I get it.